Hey, paranormal explorers, how are you tonight? It's Exploring Hurling, the Wednesday show. And I wanted to take a couple of seconds. I'm going to set up my chair to say thank you. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. The comments that I have on the videos that I made are so nice. You guys are nice. You guys are awesome. And I went to freeze my nuts off for you guys when I went to. I'm going to shout out everybody first. I'm going to shout out Raven. Good evening, Raven. Michelle. Um, that's what she said. I forgot your name. I got Sandra. I got OP Paranormal. I got Joe is in the house. The chairman. I got Rich. Thank you for being here. And I have a special guest with me tonight. Yes. And we'll talk about her channel. I'm going to talk about her last investigation in the Washoe Club. You probably oh, there's Lomar. How are you, buddy? How are you, bro? And without further ado, here she is, Kassy from Weeping Willow Paranormal.
Hey,
how are you, Kassy? Thank you for
good. Thanks for having me.
I'll have a little drink of my oh.
Thanks.
Little plug. How are you?
Good. It's been chaos here, but I'm good.
Good. I hope you guys went to look at our channel because our last investigation at the Washoe Club, that was out of this world. That was a good one. Can you?
Yeah. Like even like reviewing the footage back, like a lot of stuff we heard a lot, and I heard a lot in the moment, a lot of disembodied voices, but reviewing footage, like it shocked us, like, or at least me in particular, because I was one editing. I'm like, holy crap. So.
Oh yeah. And that card game was really special.
Yeah.
That was good because I've seen the three perspective. I've seen Jason's video. Yeah. I've seen Karen's video. And now I've seen yours. So seeing all three point of views, it was really special.
Yeah. I thought it was like, I've never done a collab like that. So I thought it was kind of unique because, for example, in Jason's episode, I can't remember if it was like part 2 or part 3, he didn't catch an EVP, but I caught the EVP that we all heard. So I think it might have been part 3. So it was interesting because like, if it wasn't for my camera, like we would have never heard that, you know what I mean? Where we all heard it. So yeah.
And that's the pleasure of collaborating with other creators, because sometimes they have something that you don't have. So you will direct your viewers to say, well, go and see him because it's pretty good evidence we have. And yeah, there were loads and lots of EVPs, especially when you were walking around with your husband, Ron.
Yeah. It was really crazy. I was so surprised. I've never had an evidence like that. The only place I've ever had that much evidence was the Beck House, but in Petanquishene, Ontario. But Washoe Club was next level.
Oh yeah. And the energy in the building, what was that kind of feeling?
I was never scared. At times I felt really uneasy, but also I don't know if it was because the building's like falling apart, basically. I mean, they're renovating it slowly. So it was like, had that creep factor of like not looking the greatest. But also so many rooms. Like I suck with directions. Like I get lost in a parking lot. So or in a mall. So I was like I think I've left parts in where I was like which way is it again? Because I literally like you get lost. So that part is more unsettling. I never like I saw a few things there, like a head poke out, like a low profile head. So I'm pretty sure it was a child, but I never felt like scared or like I was unsettled, but I don't know if that was just because of the atmosphere, but it was never a bad feeling there. I've been in locations where I felt a little bit more uneasy, but that place I just felt like a little bit more topsy turvy because of being turned around. So it wasn't too bad, but it was definitely a really awesome location. I recommend people go there.
Wow. And doing the Estes method in the crypt, that was awesome. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
That actually probably out of all the places, that was probably the most uneasy because every time I looked up, like because like Ron panned up, but I felt like I would just see people looking at me. That's what it felt like in there. I don't know if just because how it was like built and like what the story behind the crypt is. So I don't know if that was played a factor in why I felt like that, but I literally felt like I would just look up and see people looking at me. But obviously there was no one looking at me there. So
wow. I'll take a couple of seconds to say hi to Lawanda and to say hi to KK Bootsy. Let's say hi to me and you. And and I know the feeling of being uneasy and the feeling of being lost because when I did the Shelburne prison, at the end, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am lost. I'm looking for the exit. And the only thing is I'm concerned that is the guy, because when I'm doing my intro, I'm looking over the camera and there's a guy behind the camera on his phone talking to his friends. And is he gonna come and like screw with me or I don't know. So I at the end we don't hear really clearly. That's why I wrote. I heard a firecracker, so I thought they were like screwing up with my car. So I didn't want my car to be broken, and it's not the great part of Nova Scotia. So
okay.
I had to be careful. So we'll come back to you and for a question like that, we want to know you for how long you've been interested into the paranormal.
I've always been fascinated with paranormal. I had a few experiences as a child. Back then, I didn't really know what it was, and it wasn't until like probably a year ago I started realizing what was kind of happening. But I've always read like mostly paranormal books or like all like the whole paranormal, like a lot of fictional books, right? Or like the Haunted Ontario books or Haunted Canada books. Because I didn't know, I never had the History Channel or the Travel Channel. So I never watched Ghost Hunters. I never watched any of those TV shows. So I didn't really know investigation was a thing until YouTube. So about 3 years ago, I believe, 2019, I think I was watching like Nukes or something like it was like some about paranormal investigation. I'm like, oh, this is a thing. So I just started watching it and I thought this is pretty cool. And then March, over a year ago now, I started I decided like, you know what, maybe I should just do this. I was going to just not even do YouTube. I was just going to investigate for fun. My husband initially was going to join me, or he did join me in the very, very beginning. Was a skeptic. Washoe Club changed everything for him.
Changed him.
So he was like whatever. So but anyway, so I don't think Crow's in the chat, but my friend Crow, going back to that, he's like, just do a YouTube channel, like just put out your investigation stuff out there. And I'm like, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to I don't know what I'm doing. Like I literally don't. So I finally just did it. Hi Elena. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Helena.
So I just did it. I went for it. So I started my channel in March, but I didn't actually start posting it until believe it was like July. So I investigated like Old Angel Inn and Niagara on the Lake and Prince of Wales. Those were my 2 episodes with my husband. With my crappy camera, I had minimal gear. But then he was kind of like, I don't know. So one of my classmates, Reese, so she's also part of the team, Weeping Willow now. So I asked her, I'm like, do you want to come along with me? And she's like, okay. So basically she joined and the rest is history. So I'm a very new paranormal investigator, but I have a passion. And I think because I'm an empath, I know that word gets thrown around a lot. I think that kind of helps me in investigating. But I absolutely love it. I basically care just about putting out evidence. You know what I mean? That's my main goal, and for people to see it. You know what I mean? To kind of prove that paranormal is real. So
exactly, and that's why I like you, because I'm the same. All right.
yeah,
I started in my library in high school. They had books about the paranormal, and
yeah.
2 pictures that I stayed on. They were like out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
And at this date, they are not being debunked.
Mm-hmm.
A monk, the first picture is a monk near an altar, and the other one is the picture of it's a lady that took a picture of her husband, and in the back seat of the car it's the deceased mother of the gentleman of the front
Oh
seat.
wow.
So it started there, and a little bit like me, I didn't know how to edit. I just
Yeah.
loved to film, and it went just there, and just seeing you go, and we feel your passion into your videos, because you're like me, you're like Lomar, you're like Elena, you're like other creators. You want to know what's happening,
Yeah.
what makes that REM pod go off, what makes that K2 spike, what does that bulb blinks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the passion. Go and discover Kassy and Reese. They are so good, and there are loads of great creators in there. And yeah, and plans for the future. Can
Oh
you
yeah.
talk about little teasers, little?
Yeah. So right now, as for my channel so far, I just finished up the Washoe Club series, so it's a 3-parter. So my next series I'm going to start next Thursday is Mackey Mansion in Virginia City. That one. See, okay. The thing is, I try to compare Mackey and Washoe, and I can't, because Washoe had all the disembodied voices, but Mackey was like a whole other level of, like, I don't want to completely give it away, but I did see my first full body apparition where I can make out. I've seen shadows. I've had shadows rush me, but I saw my first one. And the camera was,
Wow.
I haven't looked at the footage yet, but the camera was directly on where I was looking. So I'm like, I don't know if there'll be something that I doubt there'll be something there, but like, you don't know. But I saw a little girl.
Well,
So
just hope. We just hope that you have something.
yeah, or like in the audio, something goes flint, like something weird. But yes, that place was a whole other level. I felt like I don't want to give it away. There's some parts, like if you watch it, like I know, at least I know from remembering in the moment. I remember like weird visual stuff happened there, like just crazy things happen there. Like, I mean, not crazy, but like enough that goes like, what the heck, you know? A lot of feeling. I felt a lot there, which is hard because not everyone. I can't like show people that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like my feeling. So at least hopefully I'm able to like let people know how I feel, and people hopefully they believe me. So, but yeah, so Mackey's up, and then we just did an investigation, me and Reese, in
Oh yeah,
Haunted Mansion in
yeah.
Selkirk. So that place, I didn't know anything about it. I went in completely blind. They're brand new to letting people investigate. Only the last 6 months, and we were the very first overnight investigation there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't want to give that away, but we had some interesting things happen. A lot of stuff happened, and I didn't know
Go
what
and
we
check.
were going to expect. So,
Exactly.
but
Go and
yeah,
check the video when it's gonna be on, and
I
for the next one, go and see it.
Yeah, that one's gonna be closer to end of December, I think, depending on how long Mackie is, like the episodes. Because I usually do like 3-parters. I don't try to do super long episodes, so I try to keep them around like 30 to 40 minutes, 45. I know my Wash show was an hour, but it was the finale. So, but of course, my dog, she has to be.
Oh, it's so cool. And I'll take 2 seconds to say hi to Tommy amongst the tombstone. Tommy, hello. And I discovered him through Elena, and those two, they rock. They rock.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see and to meet them as well. So yeah, keep on.
So that's for like my episodes coming up. But we do have some future plans coming up in the spring. So there'll be another collab with Jason from Cemetery Road coming up in the spring. And then obviously me and Exploring Harley, and also Reese and my husband probably. The only thing that's stopping my husband might be childcare issue because we have 5 kids, so it's
okay.
But my husband probably will be coming.
Right.
And there's that. So that's like the main things that's going to be happening potentially in September. So I was part of an event in September, this past September in Virginia City called PAX, and that's how we were able. Like that's why I was in Virginia City. So we don't know where the next PAX is going to be. Hopefully I'm a part of it. Hopefully they want me back as part of the thing. So, but that's also another like a week away of somewhere. So I don't know details on that, but
okay. Well, that's cool. And I have my dog as well. She's right there. She's getting pet, and she's she's always close to me, and she's always around. And yeah, and I can't wait. I can't wait for Wilson Castle, because for you guys that know paranormal and that are following most of YouTube creators that went there, know that it is very, very active, and it's an incredible place to investigate. First of all, because the house is just beautiful. It's just awesome. And and all the vibe that you have in there, and I can't wait. I can't really wait. And to go lay in that coffin and do that Estes method, I can't wait.
I know it's funny though. I never heard of Wilson Castle until you told me about it, because I'm so new to the world. Apparently, I know majority of the more famous locations, but I don't really know a lot. And I feel I don't know. Me, it's a good thing that I go in the blind into a lot of places, because I'm like, I don't know what's here, So I don't know. But
well, without knowing the history, if we have things coming in, and I know they're relevant, and you think it's not relevant, probably I'll tell you, well, it is.
Yeah. Or even like one of my episodes, I think it was at Queenston Heights, you were like telling me, like, because I don't know a lot of military history, right? But you do. So it was like, I'm like, what? I was like, so it was relevant, but I didn't really piece that together in the moment,
Exactly. And for the general being interred with this colonel, well, it was like you kind of asking questions to the general, so it's kind of normal to the colonel saying, "No, I stand down." So and just the community, the paranormal community, they're so incredible. And that's what I love about that community, about paranormal. It's about friendship, about helping each other, and because I think we want all the same thing, is to know there's something after.
Yeah.
And Queenston Heights, that's another great place that you went to investigate, and you had some pretty great evidence down there as well.
Yeah, that location I was kind of surprised, because obviously it's a battlefield, so most likely haunted, but we didn't really know, because there's not a whole heck of a lot of ghost stories connected to Queenston Heights. Like, like Battle of Lundy's Lane, the Drummond Hill Cemetery, there's ghost stories connected to that place. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of like Battle of Ridgeway. Actually, I don't know about Battle of Ridgeway, but oh my gosh, what was the other one we did? Battle of Chippewa. So that had ghost stories connected. But Queenston Heights is a huge historical landmark, but there was not. I couldn't really find a whole heck of a lot of ghost stories connected to that area. So that's kind of why I wanted to investigate Queenston Heights, because I was curious. So that's basically how I go in. I'm like, is it haunted? I don't know, you know?
Exactly. And for me, it's the same thing. The first time I went to investigate for real, I went to the tomb of a soldier that went through 4 wars.
Wow.
And we know that in the 18th century, if you survive 1 war, you were good. So
Yeah.
he survived 4. So he was great. His name is James Sinclair. He was the flag bearer for General Wolfe on the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. So,
Okay.
and I had loads and loads of responses. Cat ball, K2 going off, REM pod beeping blue when it was hot, and
Yeah.
like loads of stuff. Sometimes places that you won't think they're gonna bring you something, finally they bring you stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And there's another place that I'm curious about, because I've seen your video and I've seen Paranormal XP, and go follow them as well. Those
Yes.
gals are great. Tara and Paige. You went, what was the name of that manor? There's a manor. It's only the structure of the building. Oh, my memory.
Only the structure.
It's a
Oh,
part.
Hermitage Ruins?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
In
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yeah, in Hamilton. Yes. Can you tell us about that place a little bit? Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, that one, that was kind of like, I heard that it was haunted, so we kind of went. You can't go there after dark. I mean, people sneak in there. My whole thing, okay, this is one thing, people on my channel who follow me know, I don't do like cemeteries past dark, because you're going to get like fined or arrested, or I don't mean that arrested, but you'll get kicked down, get in trouble. I don't do that. Or any abandoned locations that are like private property. So there's one really popular location in St. Catharines called Blue Ghost Tunnel. A lot of people go there. I just don't want to go there because it's on GM property. I just don't want to get in trouble. And it's also really dangerous because you can turn the wrong way and go into the canal and die. So,
exactly. So it's good. That's all right.
Yeah. So Hermitage, when we went like just before dark. So we were there, and then it got dark, but it was like just still before 9 o'clock. So I mean, it's not the latest at nighttime, whatever, but we still did it and it got dark. That place was interesting because I wasn't really sure what to expect. I did know some more backstory on that location. But as we were leaving though, I felt like a lot of like indigenous, more so than actually the story. I don't know if there's actually the indigenous, there's a story behind that there, but I know like obviously the house burnt down after the fact, right? And then someone died and hung. But when I was there, kind of like in my, it might sound a little bit crazy, kind of my mind's eye, I felt like I saw like a woman in like more of like not Victorian, probably Victorian, like old fashioned garb, kind of there. And as we were leaving though, it was like I felt like there was like some indigenous. It was really interesting, and we got some of that through I believe it was the Perilous, and also like with paranormal equipment too. I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. I use it as a reference, but if we have multiple things going off at the same time, like, or it's relevant, like the Perilous or like a Spirit Talker app, and your K2 go off, and like other things kind of correlate, then I put a little bit more stock into that. But that place, it was really interesting. And also, you're basically in a forest in the dark, so it's a little bit unnerving.
Yeah.
So because it gets dark, and then plus it was, I think when we went, it was October or November. October, I think it might have been October. It was really cold, and it was like starting to rain, and it was like not the best like conditions, but yeah, no, it was. I definitely recommend it. Definitely like even do like a walk around the park area because there's a lot of history there. It's really quite interesting, but definitely I feel like we captured stuff there. So
And that's what I want to do. I want to promote Canadian
Mm.
history. I want to promote. We have we have loads of places around here um, that are have activity, and yeah, I know the feeling of being into a graveyard and just like for me, I'll go after dark. I don't really care if somebody comes and say, "Well, you can't be here."
Yeah.
Okay, fine, I'll go. Good,
Yeah.
thank you. But me, the thing it's I won't go in cemeteries or graveyards if they're near houses because if with my instruments like the sound or anything,
Yeah.
I don't want to bother anyone.
Yeah.
And I don't want there was
Yeah.
some dust. I don't want to bother anyone.
Yeah.
And that and the for abandoned buildings, same thing for me. I won't go into an abandoned building until I'm said like it's okay, you can
Yeah.
go. So
Yeah.
and yeah, well, thank you, Cassie. It was great. And do you want to stick around for the little chit chat or?
Yeah, sure. I
Yeah,
just thought,
sure.
yeah, Lil Martin just made it funny. He said, find people. He's like, I find people, Ontario cemeteries that people are always mad. So mad. I don't know who hates Ontario. I'm just rather not get in trouble. Like actually,
Well,
another team. I don't know. You guys should really check them out. They just put a video. They were at the Fort George. They did an investigation with Wim Gypsy. So they're local, like they're from Niagara.
oh,
Yeah,
I'll
they
go and
did.
check them out.
Yeah, so they were at Drummond Hill Cemetery investigation, and they actually had to leave to at dusk. They went. So like that's why Drummond Hill Cemetery. I'll go like at before it gets dark, as it gets dark, and then I'll leave. So
Wow. Okay. Well, it's a national landmark, I think. So probably it's because it's a national landmark that is they close it down. It's like there is the old graveyard downtown Halifax. Lormar is gonna go. He's gonna know where I'm talking about, and yeah, they close it out at a certain time. You have to get out because they close the
yeah,
gate, they lock the gate, but it's just too too great of a place not to investigate. So
yeah.
I went there before I did Lord Nelson Hotel. So what is the group again?
Wim Gypsy.
Wim
So
Gypsy.
Wim Gypsy, yeah, they're really good.
If somebody in my mods can
Or
take
maybe
out the
maybe
site.
I can do it because I'll have
I
yeah.
am techno techno not.
I'll share their latest episode in the thing. Okay, so copy.
There we go.
I just started learning how to do all this kind of stuff.
I'm still learning as well, so
I'm
that's why I bought a Mac. Okay, I'm gonna have some tomatoes, I know, but
whoops.
I'm a Mac person. Okay, I'm dumb. I was in the army, so bear with me.
Oh, okay, there we go. I just shared it.
Thank you.
No, I mean, Matt confuses me, so I don't know.
Yeah, tonight I wanted to address something. On my friend's Lomar last video, um, he had like 85%. Yeah, like we'll be reasonable, all right? Let's say 80% were good comments and 10% were bad comments. And bad comments, I can understand. Some people sometimes can not like what we do. It's fine. But the thing is, when you attack one of my friends, well, and I know the person, I've worked with the person, and I know the place, I have an issue. All right. And especially when I've seen something on YouTube this week that made my hair stand on my arms, but not for the right reasons. Okay. I've seen a creator that has over 200,000 subscribers fake out. I just fake out something, all right? He fake out something to put on his channel, and I just have an issue with that. I can't not be here and say that I'm a paranormal investigator, seeing a person go out there and doing stuff like that, and having some of my friends being attacked and being said that there is faking stuff. I just don't like it. I know the YouTube universe has lots of trolls, lots of bad people, and even me, I had the troll me for a moment. He disliked 3 or 4 of my videos when I was beginning, probably to try to discourage me, but nope.
Yeah.
And I know that people will go and say it's fake. I know. But prove me that what is happening, prove me what is the thing that is making like my rampart go. Joe Vitale, and thank you, Joe, for bringing that up. And I will check that in future use of my rampart. The rampart's got an antenna. It's a freaking radio. So if you have radio communication around, probably the thing coming into your rampart is a guy talking on into his CB or other communications. That's why in the Lord Nelson, I thought that my sorry, my wireless microphone were affecting the rampart. So do you have a comment on that kind of behavior?
With the behavior of like trolls.
Well, trolls and people that attack the wrong people on YouTube.
It's really frustrating. I've not had outright trolls. I've had some like they're like passive aggressive people in my
Mm.
that are like will say something. But I mean, as our channels grow, we're gonna come across that more because I mean, if they're not going to be in the moment, they're not going to understand what we're feeling or seeing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it sucks when there's the fakers out there that set us up for failure, basically, because there's some really big teams out there that are outright faking, and then people are believing them because, but like, if you, for like, not every episode should have a chair flying. Like, that's not real paranormal. Like, that's obviously it's gonna be fake, right? I mean, maybe in a million chances there might be something weird, you know what I mean? But majority of the time it's fake. So it's frustrating just because it really does like give us a bad name. And that's why I think my goal, and I'm sure your goal too, is trying to put out what we catch and like we try to debunk in the moment. Joe, like Joe, what he just
Exactly.
right there, he's like anything tech stuff, ask Joe. He's like a genius. So he like really, because I'm a beginner, like I don't really know a heck of a lot about investigating. I just go with what I feel. So Joe kind of helps me like kind of figure out like the tech side of this stuff, right? Like about the REM pods, or this could be causing this to go off. Like I had a REM pod an investigation at my parents' house because they felt like something was there, but my REM pod kept going off, but it was debunked because it was a Wi-Fi router was setting it off. You know what I mean? So
Helena's got to go. Thank you for coming by, Helena, and hope to see you soon. And she's going back to Finland on the 30th. Poor her. And I hope that we'll see her soon and sooner than later.
yeah,
All right. Yeah, and that's it. And like Joe said, just don't. And that's what I like about you. You're like me. You want to know, okay, the RAM pod goes off. Can you go for the K2? Can you go for something else?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? We want to debunk at on the moment what
Yeah.
is happening, and that's the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can at one time in your life come across some poltergeist activity, and if it happens, well, you're the luckiest person, you're the luckiest investigator out there, and
Yeah.
congratulations. Because when I went to Shelburne, I know that a door closed on Lormore and
Mhm.
Chelsea when they went there, and I wanted a door. Just go ahead, close it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. I wanted to hear it with my own ears.
Yeah.
When I had that BB thrown at me, that was like, come on, they don't
Yeah.
fall out of the sky.
No.
So that's the thing that I want to see and I want to hear when I want to
Mhm.
learn. And I thank Joe for doing the video that he did, because I didn't know about that.
Mhm.
And now I will be careful about that,
Mhm.
because when I went to do the Titanic gravesite, the ramp was going well. It was going on one frequency, but probably the right frequency of a radio was nearby, because there were
Mhm.
trains nearby, and
Oh, okay.
well, trains, they have radios.
Yeah.
But having the flashlight opening and closing at the same time, yes, there the jumping of the circuit jumping, we call it, but that goes on command.
I know.
that that was kind of hard. And the cat ball also. I had the cat ball didn't go off one time in Shelburne, and all of a sudden at the Titanic victim gravesite, it goes off.
Yeah.
And all those things, when you correlate certain evidence with other things,
Yeah.
that's, in my opinion, the right way to do it. And yeah, that was just it. It would be the same if like people will attack you on a video. I will vouch for you always, because you cannot. There's a way to fake.
Yeah.
If you want to be an actor, if you want to do movies, that's fine.
Mhm.
But just tell your audience that it's a movie.
Yeah. I know. I was roped in by someone that I thought was true because they were very personable and they rapped like, you know what I mean? But then really I found they were fakers. So it's like I've always kind of like ever since that experience I've kind of been like a little bit like weary. And like my one friend Crow, and even Joe, but like a Crow, he's like a debunker. Like that's what he does. He debunks people. So I always now I'm like, okay, are they legit? Because like I'm afraid that I'm gonna get roped in. But so far, I mean, a lot of the smaller channels though are really good. So far it's been okay. But I mean, there's channels out there that like don't tell them that you're faking, or they like, oh no, it's real, and you believe them, and the whole time you've been watching them, you realize it was fake the whole time. It's so frustrating,
Exactly.
and then it gives
But
us bad memes. So
and there's faking and, well, faking, because there's one thing about doing a spooky scene, like kind of a Orson Welles kind of a radio show to scare everybody,
yeah,
but you go and say after that is a radio show, that is
yeah,
not real, because when the phones fucking blow up, sorry, it's not time to well, you say no, 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 it doesn't, it's not real.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And having a place being haunted is one thing, but trying to push for views and clicks, I can understand the person, but don't go out there and pretend that you're a paranormal investigator.
Hmm.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Go and say that you're a creator, that you create videos for entertainment. That's good.
Hmm.
But us, we go out there, we film our investigations because we want to bring proof.
Yeah, exactly.
And we want to bring proof to other creators and other investigators that will help us probably say, oh no, that K2 went off because you were like, I know that place, there's a wire under. So that's what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
I don't want a guy that comes on my channel and say, oh, you jumped because you said you saw a shadow. Yeah, but at that moment I saw that shadow.
Yeah. I know.
I don't have it on camera. I'd rather have it on camera than tell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened at the Beck house. Like when we were, all my batteries were dead. That's also a lesson learned, guys. Charge your batteries like all the time. So I went through like stupid amount of batteries at that location, and we were just getting like coffee ready, and I had a shadow rush me in the kitchen, and I had like the tea kettle in my hand, and I jolted. But like if I had it on camera, I've been like, yes, but it wasn't on camera.
Exactly. Like Joe is saying, we don't have a problem about paranormal doing it for entertainment,
Yeah.
but make it clear
Hmm.
it's entertainment. So probably you'll have some stuff made up in there.
Yeah.
But when we go out there, it's not it's not into our advantage to fake stuff,
Yeah.
because we're gonna be lying to ourselves.
Really.
It's so we're trying to get proof of life after death, and that's the thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, Joe, battery drain, few explanation, yeah. And I had my battery like sucked dry in Shelburne. I got in there with like 100 and so minutes of battery, and in 20 minutes it was like at 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and uh, instruments that could
Mhm.
get drained, REM pod.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Kassy says, change your batteries and charge your stuff.
Constantly. If you're at a location that you're able to plug in batteries and charge them, do it. I learned my lesson.
Exactly. Oh my god. Because I had the same kind of problem coming to a location and trying to like open up something and say, oh no, I'm out of battery. And on the Titanic gravesite, it was the same thing. I thought my RAM pod, the battery was going because it was so going freaking out. Change the
Yeah.
battery, stop freaking out, but it was still hitting.
Yeah.
But I had other instruments to kind of help me, and
Yeah.
just well, it's the Titanic victims. So
Mm.
well,
Yeah.
some of them want to talk, some of them don't want to talk, and I had one of them that wanted to talk and wanted to stay with me also.
Hmm.
Yeah. Remember that little girl, Sydney?
Hmm.
Yeah, she followed me to the camp at the movie where I was working.
Oh, oh no. I just got chills.
I didn't. I just all the guys on the movie set said, "Hey, like get your stuff out and just we'll see what happens." And I took my rampart. I just put it right there, and for about 10, 15 minutes, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I went to the ramp and started asking questions.
Yeah.
And I had hits. So I asked if it was a past camper, somebody that was, or probably before the camp. Nothing. And I said, "Did you follow me from an investigation?" And I had a hit.
Oh, wow.
So I started telling the places that I went. And when I came to the Titanic victims, I had a small hit. And it was when I said, "Sydney, did you follow me?" It went berserk.
Wow.
So I did a little prayer and I asked her kindly to go back
Yeah.
where she belongs because I didn't want to bring. I have 2 kids of my own. That's enough.
I know I'm actually having some weird things happen in my house recently. And I was talking to Joe, and he's like, "Maybe you brought someone home," and I'm like, "I don't know.
We
I
have
don't
to be
know."
careful. We have to be careful when we close investigations to always say, "You cannot follow me. You
Yeah.
cannot stick to the equipment." But sometimes you say it and they still follow you because probably you will remember them, somebody that you
Yeah.
knew, or so.
Like, I don't think I necessarily brought anything home. I know in my house, before even I was investigating, I would experience, I feel like spirits just pass through. And my interpretation of what's happening in my house, the thing is because now I'm investigating, so I'm opening up towards them more. I think I'm just noticing them more. And that they're like, "Oh, you're here, hello," like, or like, "Oh, you can talk to us or see us," you know? And I think that's kind of what's happening. But Michelle actually had a good question about batteries and how many batteries. How many batteries do you typically go through or have gone through?
2.
2. So I had when I use my static camera, is a cheap static camera, so like the batteries are not the greatest. What's going on right now?
Oh.
And I went at the Beck House. Okay, Beck House is probably the best thing. I went through 12 Steadicam batteries. So like they're like just I don't even know. They should last an hour. They didn't. But I went through 12 of those because I had like 12. And then my Sony camera, I've gone through 3, but then at Beck House was 3. But I think I was charging as I was going, at least one of my batteries. But yeah, so a lot of batteries.
Oh yeah. But one time when I did 81st Regiment of Foot, we spent 3 hours there, and I have 2 batteries. I have one it's 120 minutes, and the other one is a double,
Oh, okay.
240 minutes. But sometimes they just suck the energy out of it, or sometimes they will play with the energy, because sometimes like I lose minutes and I gain minutes, and what?
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely get more batteries, more cameras too.
Yeah. I mean, my Sony, I have 3 batteries for my Sony. So that's been good so far, especially if I'm just it's usually good, especially if I'm able to charge them as I go.
But my Canon, since I have my Canon, I love it. I film with it in good heat, kind of.
Yeah.
It never overheated, and I was told by professional when I was working on the movie set, I was like, "Oh my god, okay, you have like some like that." I want to have good equipment to bring good proof, and that's the way the way you're going as well. I think you bought yourself a good kick-ass camera recently, I
Yeah,
think.
well, in December of last year, I got a Sony AX53. So that was like a $1,500 camera. And then So I mean, okay, I don't know if anyone knows about me. When I go in, I go full like bore. I'm like in there doing whatever I can, the best at my capabilities. I don't know. And then my laptop died, right? And then I bought like a $2,000 computer, like just the tower. That is like, so I can edit, but it's so nice editing now. It exports so fast, and it's like 4K, and it exports like within like I went for dinner. Like I was like me in my kitchen eating dinner as it's like exporting. I come back and it's already done. I'm like, normally it takes like 6 hours. Like to export.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm the same with my Mac sometimes. Some videos, okay, they're already done. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. But it's so fun to work with good equipment.
Oh, it is.
Sometimes if you can pay the little extra money to have great equipment, go for it.
Yeah.
My own opinion, go for it.
Yeah.
And the more cameras that you can have,
Yeah.
put cameras around. Lomar in his last investigation, I think he put three static cameras or two static cameras.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome. When creators put loads of cameras, I always try to put an extra camera, but I'm so dumb that I forget about it.
Oh,
I finished the investigation. I was like, oh no, I wanted. Oh damn it.
my issue is that I'll have static cameras going, but there'll be another room. Usually we'll use a second camera just for other room stuff, and then it'll be dead, and I don't realize it's dead, and then like so I don't know. It's just a lot of changing batteries, and that it's a cheapy camera, so you have to like unscrew it from the tripod and then put the battery in. It's not an easy like battery change, so it's a pain in the butt. So eventually I'll upgrade my static cameras, but for now, that's what I was actually filming with. Like those were like back in the day, like when I first started, it was just like Amazon, like $300 cameras or whatever, you know? So, but I don't know, but
Well,
I'm learning and I'll upgrade my equipment as it goes. But right now I want to focus on locations. So I'd rather save money for that right now, just because
exactly.
of all the traveling that I'm planning on doing. And plus now I have to pay for babysitters. So that's another factor. Cause now my husband's all there.
Go ahead and check our channel and check our merch also, because when we sell merch because we want to buy equipment, we want to rent some locations, we want to bring you some quality products. So that's why we have merch. Sometimes because it's kind, it pokes me when people say, "Well, you're asking for money." Well, it costs money to travel and costs money to buy that equipment. It costs money.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. And I'm not doing YouTube to get rich. No, I want to bring more proof to you guys.
Yeah. And when like with the merch thing though, I always feel guilty when people buy my merch. I'm a weirdo. But but
I'm the same, but we have to.
like I only really started my merch because so that way I'd have my own merch to wear. So that was why. I have to get one of your shirts. I have to get. So I
I'll well, no. I was about to say that I'll give you in private. No, I'll give it right here. I write it right there. There you go. For everybody in the chat, you just write EH15 and you'll have a 15% off of
awesome.
everything you have. And don't forget, $1 goes to the Pendulum. The Pendulum is a foundation to help veteran. My service dog is a dog, Pendulum dog, and the Pendulum, they help veterans to start their businesses or to just get into their everyday life. And they gave a good donation to a house here we have in Quebec for veterans to go, and if they want to do a weekend rest.
Mm.
So the Pendulum, they gave $12,500 to that house to help them buy some furniture for the house. So, and if at the end of the year there's like $100 to give to the Pendulum, so I, from my pocket, give another $100. So it's like $200 that goes to the pendulum.
Awesome.
So I have to get back to the community, to the veteran community.
Mm.
So, and that's why we do it. And we just want to bring good stuff to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cassie's going to vouch for me on that because we have great places. Go and see or reach out to Kassy if she's available. Go into the Niagara Valley region. It is beautiful, first of
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
all. I go there when I go to the Valhalla Project, the place where I go to regroup a little bit once a while. And yeah, and there's so much history. War of 1812.
Yeah.
It's all over there.
Yeah.
And we have our own, I call it our own Gettysburg, that is called Lundy's Lane.
Yeah.
A 3-day battle that has that brought like bloodshed to that
Mm-hmm.
place. So we have loads of places. If you go on the East Coast, we have Lomar on the East Coast. You can reach out to him. He's awesome, and loads of history over there.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing York's readout, it was a roller coaster of emotions and proof. Just asking if there was a portal and having that green light come out. That was something. That was
Yeah.
something. And the investigation that I have coming, the SS Atlantic, that was the big sister of the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
So another, like Lomar say, another underrated place that is need to be investigated. So come to
Yeah.
Canada.
We have so many awesome locations. It's
And,
like,
I'm probably missing some of you have in your own backyard. And go ahead, tell the creators that don't know the places that you have in your own backyard. There's a place, a house. Is it no? Is the Beck's house? Is it?
the Beck House. Yeah. That's in Petanquishene. So that was our first location that we had a mass amount of evidence that, because a lot of times when I investigate, a lot of times it was like we catch stuff after the fact, like in my editing, like I would hear like EVP or something. But in the Beck House, we had things happen to us, and we saw things like the shadow rushing towards me. So a lot of that place was probably the most active I've ever been to. But then the Washoe Club beat that out of the water. But the Beck House is absolutely amazing. Like Oldie, like Niagara on the Lake, pretty much just go to anywhere in Niagara on the Lake, it's haunted. So like Old Angel Inn, Prince of Wales, it's hard to say because we stayed in room 207. Wasn't necessarily, we didn't have a heck of a lot of evidence, but that was my very first episode. So I wasn't sure if it was just like me or it was just the location. So, but yeah, I mean, everywhere was haunted.
Yeah, Rich. If I would do an overstay, yeah, sure. But I did one in the Lord Nelson while I was sleeping in that room, and I asked for the most haunted room in the hotel, and they gave me that room. So I basically did an overnight in a haunted place. But yeah, I want to do a haunted overnight in a spooky place. If I go back to Nova Scotia, I wanted to do an overnight in the Shelburne prison. Lomar did it with his friend Angelo, and I want to do it. I'm game. I'm in for anything. And Wilson Castle, we're gonna do an overnight in Wilson Castle. So yes, Rich, and it's in the books. And Lormar is saying that being rich is overrated. Yes, it is, and just a fun thing. Just like there, yes, I didn't remember that I can put
I
the comments on. I'm so dumb.
know.
And yes, I'm glad to have met you. And there's the overnight questions. Yes, I will stay overnight. And yeah, the Lomars. Eh, I'll write it right there. No, right there. There you go. But I don't know if it's the channel and or so. Yeah, it's Lomar, just like Lomar Mens in on YouTube, and you'll find it. Or check my latest video. His link is right there. So check him out. Dantex is one of our good Canadian creators out there because I don't know if you've seen his work, but the guy's good for editing. He's good, and my dog is having a snack into the cat's food.
Oh no.
Bunny, and she loves the cat food. Sorry, Bunny. Hey, come on. Hey, come on. No, come, come. Bad girl. Oh, she's having a feast in there. Oh, yes. She's licking herself up. Guilty dog.
Oh my gosh, my dogs do stuff like that. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, or she's doing her thing. Yeah, she's doing it. Yeah. Yeah, and we've been on for an hour, and I don't want to bore everybody, and I don't want to take any more of your time. And thank you. I was so happy to have you on the show,
Well, thanks for having me.
and can't wait to collab. Can't wait to investigate, to work with you. It's gonna be so awesome. And yeah, she's kind of cute, and like Kassy's dog, she's beautiful as well.
Oh, thanks.
And Lomar's dog, Akia, oh, she's so adorable. She's love dogs, man. So thank you guys, thank you Kassy again. It
No problem.
was great. So you guys, thank you for being here, and like always, I'll catch you guys on the next paranormal adventure. See you guys. Bye bye.